Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Dragoon. And last time, we got our party back, which is awesome. This time, we gotta make some preparations before heading out. Now, as far as preparations go, there are a lot of items to find, specifically, items that will fill up my inventory really quickly. So I'm not going to buy them now, but I'm going to, after clearing out most of the dungeon, I'm going to make a trip back. I'm going to unload all of my excess items, and at that point I will buy 2 burnouts. So just so you know, I will be doing that off screen, but I do want them for the next boss. Now, if you head up here, it's the same shop owner. He just runs up and down the stairs all the time. Why couldn't he just be in one spot? Like, why? Whatever. Here, we can buy some new equipment, finally. And a falchion or a falchion or however the hell you pronounce this thing. Anyway, I want to buy it, but I do not want to be armed with it. And there's a really important reason why. We can finally get the bemusing arrow if, you didn't manage to steal one earlier. And might as well grab a morning star. We can finally buy the plate mail that we got from Fairbrand way earlier on disc 1. So that's nice. You can buy one of those. Sparkle dresses. You can buy these for everyone. I think this one is finally good enough. Yeah, look at that magic defense to outweigh the uses of the auto revive from the angel robe. So Sean is finally going to get a decent upgrade. And so is everyone else. Very useful item to have. Now, normally Dart would be armed with the Night Helm. However, I gave him the magical hat that I stole from the boogie magicians on the ship there. So I'm just going to buy an extra one for Albert here. A lot more magic attack. Not that he uses it, but it's got a lot of defense. So, you lose a little bit of magical defense, but I think it's worth it overall. And that's pretty much all we can buy right now. Yeah, so don't buy the Falcon for later. Do not equip it. You definitely don't want to do that. Most of the enemies in the upcoming area considering it's a water area, are going to be blue elemental, meaning that the heat blade will do more damage overall. I actually did some tests on the boss, and damage went from 263 with a fully leveled up Crush Dance with Dart, with the normal weapon, with the one I just bought, versus 354 with the Heat Blade. So, yeah. Anyway, let's take on this guy. Now, this is going to be my party for now. I didn't really go over my setup, but I will in a minute here. I do kind of like this party, especially if I give Albert a Bandit's Ring, because it means all of, both him and Haschel will have 60 speed, and they'll both be just going non-stop, and don't have to worry about healing too much, because they can usually take out enemies before you'll even need to heal, especially with that kind of speed. Now, the way I want to set up my characters right now is a little different than I've had in the past. Dart has the Therapy Ring. He also has the Magical Hat, like I was saying before. Because everyone here is blue elemental, if he gets hit, he's going to get hit pretty hard, and I don't want to have to stop to heal him, so I think he's the best candidate for the Therapy Ring right now. And Haschel has the Power Wrist because he doesn't really have anything else useful to put on. If I was on a harder edition, I might use the Ultimate War God, but not particularly important right now. Albert, of course, is on the Bandit's Ring and the new gear that he just got. As far as additions go, we're finally remembering to put things on Madness Arrow, unlike last time. So that'll be not particularly damaging, but it'll be useful. Definitely gives him a lot of SP, especially at max level. Let's see. Haschel's going to be on Flurry of Sticks. And we're going to go Rod Typhoon. We're actually going to do this a few more times than just the 80, just because it's so much more SP, and Gust of Wind Dance doesn't give you any more than 35 SP no matter what level you're at, so I want to get him at least to level 3 before I switch it over, which shouldn't be too far off by now. And yeah, that's pretty much my setup at this point. So anyway, let's head into the Undersea Cavern. And... Rawr. What do we got here? Cutscenes. It kind of sounds like a roar. Probably from a dragon. Yeah. It's pretty obvious that the sea dragon is the problem around here. They say there's a monster, you know, blocking the way. There's no monster blocking the way. A dragon or two is nothing. Alright, next time we fight a dragon, Meru gets to fight him by herself. Anyway, the prison island is across the way, and we can't get there because the water's in the way, and because even though we have Dragoon wings, we can't fly over it. I don't know. Anyway, so in order to do anything about it, we need to head back to Lydia, or whatever this place is. This town, this little shanty that is falling apart. Now, in order to do all this, pop into the boat here, go to the ocean terrace, hit fast forward because it takes forever, and get an automatic sequence. And discussing music. I guess I'm going to call this discussing music because we always seem to be talking about something important to the plot when this music kicks up. Let's take a break. So he won the hand again. Good for you. Cannot because of the flood tide. Is there another way? No, of course not. I just want to slaughter lots of beasts because I'm very, very unstable that way. Why would you want to throw yourself into danger? Well, you can muck around and play with the different options, but the real answer is we need to see the monster. It's up to you whether you can survive. Well, of course it is! Oh, well how'd you do that? How did you manage to do that? The gate to the sea. I don't know what gate he's talking about. So basically, I don't know what he's referring to exactly, but the idea is he closed the gate when the tide was in closer to land, and therefore the tide cannot go back out, at least in the cave. The gimmick gate. Yeah, like I was saying before, he's on guard duty up there. On the right side of Pete's house, turn the valve, and open the gate. Well, cool. Anyway, let's head over to Pete's house there. More fast forwarding. Out of my way. If he doesn't say that, it's kind of confusing of how you kind of get over there. You'd think everything would be accessible from the dock or the pier or whatever. Anyway, here we get two new items. Healing Fog and Healing Rain. Healing Fog heals one ally 100%. Healing Rain heals all allies 100%. It is extremely good. It's probably one of the reasons why you can't buy them normally in the game. Didn't look like you moved that at all there, Dart. Anyway, let's head along now. And with that, this guy steps out, runs around really fast, teleports, and gets back to guard duty. I don't know why they felt the need to do that, but meh, whatever. To the pier. Yes, you take forever, I know. Anyway, now that we've done that, we can continue. Without music, apparently. Let's get in here. Yeah, I'm probably going to run out of item slots at some point here. What's my items look like right now? Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to run out of space, but I can toss a few things if I need to. Here's the first item, an attack ball. I'll want to sell that. It sells for 50 gold. It's more than most of the other junk you find. And here, we get a jeweled crown. Now, jeweled crowns are very nice, because what they do is they increase your magic attack and magic defense. I wish they could be used by all the women, but they can only be used by Shauna and Meru. Because if you look at, you know, Shauna's magical attack and defense, and they're both over 100. Rose's, they're both under 100. Meru's as well, you know, they're almost over 100 each. But yeah, for now, because I'm using Shauna, I'm going to give her the jeweled crown. It doesn't really matter that much. It's not a big change, but it is nice to have. And from here, let's go this way first. And we can head up here. We'll probably run into a battle very shortly. And that was just a repeat battle with more of those weaker enemies we found before. One thing to note about this area is that a lot of enemies use status effects, specifically mind status effects like Bewitch and Fear. So definitely be prepared for them. We met up with one of them already, that mermaid. And, well, speaking of mermaids, there's one. These guys, I can't remember what they do. I think they can do something interesting, but meh. They die too fast for me to really worry about them. Anyway, so if we haven't seen it before, there's Flurry of Sticks, even though it says Fairy of Sticks. And here is Madness Hero. Look difficult? Madness Hero is actually not all that difficult. If you're trying to do it like you do a lot of other editions, you're probably going to end up getting frustrated with it, and I did a few times, you know, years ago when I was playing it. Unlike with a lot of other editions where you're trying to time your button presses, with Madness Hero you want to get into a rhythm. And the way that I do it is I just, every time you hear the sound of the sword, I press the button, and it should be a consistent pace, the same pace throughout the whole edition. And I find that that works really well for me, and I usually don't screw it up. And of course, because I said it, I had to screw it up. Alright, screw this. I am using that to perfection, and you can use an all-art attack, which, ow. Again, why you want to have the therapy ring on him. So yeah, it's not all that difficult to do, and I don't usually screw it up that much, but it's harder than pretty much all of his other editions so far. So I guess that it is something. It also doesn't do a lot of damage. It never goes over 100% damage, but it does build up your SP quite quickly. Here we get a Gushing Magma, which I'll be using on the boss. And what else do we have here? Well, let's head up to the... Stop getting stuck. Up to the left here first. This is a dead end. And a big loop. There are a few more enemies in here. I'd like to show off some of them. There's a recovery ball, which, again, not all that important. And if we head down here, we can do another loop around here. Pop up here. Pick up items that I have too many of, fortunately. Let's just discard some of this useless stuff here. I should have done some more sails when I was at town. Night Raid, not particularly useful. There's nothing around that's close enough. Stunning Hammer, I got off screen. It's just something that stuns minor enemies. Not particularly useful. And yeah, so I'm pretty close to the point where I'm going to be heading back. And unfortunately, I've only shown off a couple of the enemies around here. There we get a burnout. And here, we get an attack ball. So there's the save point. That's where I'll meet you back afterward. Let's see if I can show off some more enemies before we get out of here too. And after that battle, we learn Gas Bliss and level our Dragoon with Albert, finally. Which should mean that it's about time to move on to his next... Nah, that's not what I wanted to do. Move on to his next addition there. Ah, yes, Gust of Wind Dance. Gust of Wind Dance is probably one of my favorite additions to do in the entire game. Some people think it's one of the most difficult to do. Maybe that's why I like it. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, let's see if we can find that, the new enemy that I'm looking for here. There we go, finally. Keep running into the same 3 enemies all over again. Anyway, here we get the Flabby Troll, one of the only enemies in here who's not, you know, blue elemental. Let's show off Gust of Wind Dance. Gust of Wind Dance is one of those additions that's actually the opposite of Dart's Madness Hero. You want to avoid a lot of the sounds because they actually will screw you up. You can learn to do it by sounds, but it's not like you have to press the button as you're hearing the sounds. You're supposed to know which point in the sound, you know, of him spinning his lance or whatever, to get ready to press the button kind of thing. So, anyway, that's just kind of my little tips on how to do additions. Do they work for everyone? No, probably not, but the troll, I think, can inflict fear on you if you leave him around long enough. She does her all-out attack, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I find focusing on the blue instead of the animations and the blue, you know, helps with doing his addition there. So anyway, that's all the new enemies, so I'll meet you back up at the save point after I've returned to town. Well, I was going to go back to town, but I managed to run into this little guy along the way, so I might as well show this guy off. This is the Treasure Jar. This is another special enemy. You can't damage him with physical attacks. The only way you can damage this guy is with magic attacks. So I figure now I might as well go over some of the other magical spells that I haven't used yet. I probably won't win this fight because these enemies have the same issue as, you know, these special ones that get hurt by magic. Only take 1 damage from magic, just like everyone else. I've shown off everything except for Thunder God, so let's show that one off. Though normally when doing these fights you'd want to use level 1 magic that uses as little as MP as possible. One other thing you can do in these fights is you can use attack items as well, and sometimes that's more economically viable than having to run back to heal your MP at inns all the time. Is just buy a few items. Sometimes it's actually cheaper than doing other things. Have I shown Wing Blaster? Let's show Gas Bliss first. In my opinion, this guy's not really worth fighting. Let's use the Magic Signet Stone here. I believe he's got 5 HP. The reason why he's not really worth fighting is because the only thing you win from this guy, no experience, no money, but an item. And he just went 3 times in a row. That's great. Let's go with Atomic Mind. I've shown this before, so fast forward. Hey, I actually hit him again. Look at that. And I don't have enough MP for Wing Blaster. Crap. Well, let's just do nothing because it doesn't matter. Can't do any damage to him anyway. And he uses a magical attack barrier. Now, I am going to use a speed up on Dart because he can't actually accomplish anything until the guy gets another turn. Unless he does that again, which is kind of annoying. Would you stop doing that, please? Well, I guess I'm going to guard because I can't do anything else. Now I can do something, hopefully. Go with the weak one again. Oops. Too much fast forward sometimes. Force of habit. Spend a lot of time fast forwarding through these battles when I'm not recording because a lot of the animations just take so long. And look at that, he's got a magic-based attack. I don't think I've ever seen this, actually. Hey, it inflicts fear. That's not very beneficial, is it? Now, I think we've seen all of Dart's attacks. If there's one I'm missing, it's probably Explosion, so I'm going to go with that one. This guy doesn't seem to dodge as much, though there are later enemies that can only be hit by magic that dodge a crap ton, just like, you know, the early ones that we fought. Yeah, this one's a fire attack on all enemies. I might actually kill this guy. I never expected to, but I might. Yeah, this one hits all enemies, but it's not all that great. Mainly because of Dart's bad magic stat, but his magic stat's actually not that bad. And I actually killed him. Huh, go figure. So yeah, that's what we get there. And we get a ruby ring. Now, a ruby ring is, I guess, a somewhat useful accessory if you wanted to use it. I can't even remember what it does. The main purpose I see in it is that it sells for... it's not what I wanted to look at. It sells for 500 gold. Yeah, when damaged by magic, SP is accumulated. Whoop-dee. I don't find it all that useful. If you were going to give it to anyone, you know, based on how much they need SP, I would give it to Kongal. But, of course, Kongal is, you know, slow, that he needs his Bandus ring just to keep up. Anyway, that's all the time I have for this episode. Next time, I'll just meet you back at that save point in the Undersea Cavern. And yeah, so between then and, or now and that point, I will have bought 2 more burnouts, just so you know. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.